Hello, and welcome to Transformed. I'm your host, Josh McMullen, where we will discuss and explore topics and ideas on how to transform our current lives and be the person we need to be and the person God created us to be. So today's episode, I want to focus on a quote that I heard actually not too long ago, and it really inspired me, and I really kind of hope it inspires you as well, or at least encourages you along your path of being transformed. And it's from a speech Teddy Roosevelt gave in 1910 called "The Citizen in a Republic." And then the quote is from that speech. It's called "The Man in the Arena." Some of you might have heard it before, but I really like it. So here's the quote. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best in the end knows triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who neither know victory nor defeat." So, and it's kind of a random quote. I've heard it on the Tim Ferriss show, and I think it was LeBron James or somebody. I think it was LeBron James, and he talked about the quote about basically it's about being judged, right? Many of us have been defeated. Many of us have tried things and failed at them. But, really, and that's why I love this quote is, a lot of us are trying at things. And sometimes, we're going to get comments. Sometimes we're going to get stuff thrown at us, or someone's going to have a comment, and it can discourage us. But basically, that's why I love this quote is we don't have to worry about them, right? We all know defeat. We all know what it feels like. We've all erred. We've all stumbled. So whether, whatever your goal is, whatever your, if it's losing weight, if it's overcoming an addiction, passing a class, whatever it is, right? Sometimes we fail. My process took 4 years. I had some victories in that way, and I had some failures. But, a lot of the time, some of the biggest lessons I learned was in my failures. I've told many times about, tearing my shoulder. I've learned more, about weight loss and stuff from that, just me tearing my pectoral muscle versus, the 3 prior years. So sometimes we can learn a lot from failure. So don't get discouraged about failure. And that's why I really love that quote is I wanted to encourage you. Yeah, you may stumble, but it doesn't matter, right? You might get judged. You might get talked about. Eyes may roll, and people might, not have confidence in you, right? Especially I feel like Thanksgiving is kind of, or Christmas time is always that big one of, oh, well, I don't want to eat, because I'm on a diet, and I know probably for years oh, Josh, you're it's on your 15th diet this year. Why are you, just eat the mashed potatoes and brownies? We all know you're going to do it. They might not have little, confidence in you, but that doesn't matter, right? Don't worry about the critics. Don't worry about the judgmental people. Don't worry about the people in the stands. The people who matter are those who are in the arena with you, right? Those who are, actually helping you strive to your goals. Worry about them. Worry about those who are actually with you in the ride. And, whether that's friends, whether that's family, right? Worry about what they have to say. Worry about what Christ has to say, right? If your goals are lining up with Scripture, right? Worry about what that's going to say. Don't worry about, what some random person says or what comments on social media. Don't worry about some family member who you really, at the end of the day, don't really care about their opinion. Don't let that, throw you off, because, again, they're not trying. They're not in the arena with you. They're not in there in the gym. If you're trying to lose weight, they don't know the pain of dieting. They don't know the pain of going in there in the gym and running and experiencing sweat. I always heard the analogy of blood, sweat, and tears. I'm like, I know more about the sweat and the tears, not necessarily about the blood part of it. I mean, maybe if you smash your finger, but again, not to go on a side rant, but I really think we often get distracted by what other people say, right? we don't need to listen to those naysayers, right? We just got to actually just keep moving on. When it comes to going after your goals, very few people actually, stick with it. And so the credit goes to you. If you're out there and you're actually trying and you keep trying, right? You're the one working late. You're the one working hard. You're the one who is sweating and grinding and trying. If you stumble, at least you're actually trying. There's so many people who are sitting on the sidelines, and that's with a lot of stuff. That could be from the smallest dreams to the biggest dreams. A lot of people just don't pursue their goals. A lot of people do not pursue their dreams. They let their dreams just sit by on the wayside. And there's, the people, and they look at people and like, wow, yeah, that person, they made it they're on a TV show, or wow, that person lost weight, or that person, graduated and they're in this dream job, or they're doing whatever. And that's because that person's trying. And that's where I guess about the quote is why I really liked it is you just got to keep trying, keep going. Doesn't matter if you stumble. You got to just keep pursuing your goals and keep moving on. At least if at the end of the day, right, like for this podcast, for example, worst case scenario, right, I'm just talking to a bunch of friends and family or nobody. Worst case scenario, right? And if I stumble with this podcast and it doesn't do anything, at worst case, right, I've tried. I failed doing something I actually enjoy. I failed doing something that I feel passionate about. And the best case scenario, right? Like, let's say this thing takes off, right? And I can actually have some success with it. That's the best case scenario. So, but at least I'm trying at something that I'm very, very passionate about. And that's my biggest thing is just keep pursuing your goals. One quote I heard one time is that we actually experience 2 deaths in life, right? Obviously the physical one, but many of us die way before then. The other death is when we stop pursuing our dreams, stop dreaming. And that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there who, you wake up, you go to your job, and then you come home, and then you just sit and you just watch Netflix and basically repeat the cycle in and every day, in and out. And I didn't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want you guys to be that person where you just stop pursuing your dreams. Whatever your dream is, if it's to be an artist, if it's to be a singer, if it's to be an actor, whatever your dream is, pursue it. Keep going on. Keep trying to transform your life. Keep trying to transform your goals. Keep adding goals. Keep adding things to your life that's going to make you better at the end of the day. And just keep dreaming, right? A lot of us die way too early, and I think we're a generation of people who just lost dreams or not pursuing our dreams. So get out there, keep pursuing, keep moving on. And also with about the comments and stuff is, if you're wanting to transform, is watch who you surround yourself with, right? You don't want to surround yourself with the people who've already stopped dreaming. You don't want to, surround yourself with the people in the arena. Get some people around you who are going to motivate your goals, right? Who are going to help you with your goals and, push you towards that. That's why I really love my church family. They're very supportive. I love my other family too. But, I think surrounding yourself with people whose opinions are going to align, right, with what Scripture says for me, right? I really want them to align with, being in God's will and being in tune with Scripture, because that's really going to help motivate me, and obviously if they have an opinion, it's going to be in line with what Scripture says as well, right? And so some people, you don't want to get some weight opinions or some food advice on people who are not in the same opinion as you, because it's going to differ and it could throw you off your goals. Also, they might be the ones they're not going to have as much invested in, right? They're not in the arena with you. Surround yourself with the people who are in that arena. Another thing real quick here, my dad always told me about a popular saying about love, because it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And I think that is true. I think the same could be said about our goals. I think it's better to have pursued our goals and our dreams and have failed or and lost than to have never dreamt at all. So it's a really quick episode today, just a few minutes here. I just keep dreaming, keep pursuing your goals. And if your goal, sorry, that was my phone alarm randomly went off. Keep dreaming, keep pursuing your goals. And if your goals and dreams align with God, then watch your dreams not only transform your life, but others around you as well. So just kind of wanted to say that quote one more time. It is not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself on a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who neither know victory nor defeat. Don't be the cold and timid souls, and don't listen to those cold and timid souls. And whether you succeed or fail, at least you attempted your goal, right? So that's really it for today's episode. Like I said, super short. I heard that quote, and I really wanted to share that with you guys to encourage you, to keep pursuing, keep moving forward. Don't listen to the people in the stands. So that's it. Just keep trying, keep dreaming, enjoy the journey of being transformed. Remember, as always, it's a process, and also remember that God is with you throughout this process as well. Always reach out to me if you have any questions. If you share feedback on Instagram, my username is Rev_McMullen94. Have a great week, and God bless.